Welcome again to the television show about television, the medium in which old formats never die. They merely fade to black and come back again with a new title sequence. One format was banished to the satellites for so long that it looked like never returning to Earth. Perhaps we were crazy to miss it, but some of us, older men mainly, did miss it very much.
Girls, 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 girls. On the top of the world, looking down on creation, and the only explanation we can find.
My ultimate ambition is to be an actress.
And the happiness we found is just
You do a lot of work for charity, don't you?
of the world. We're on the top of the world.
I've always loved old people.
On creation, and the only
I shall announce the results in reverse order.
one is the love all around, and the happiness we found is just put us on the top of the world.
It all started with the first Miss World shows. Later on, the feminists told us that the whole idea was a woman-degrading meat market, and there was never anything innocent about it. But what could have been more innocent than all those young ladies with no problem on their minds except the constant strain of holding up their hairstyles without using their hands?
They have to T-U-R-N. Now, I'm not going to say the word because some of them don't speak English and they might do it before their time. And I wouldn't want them to do that. So, girls, are you ready? Turn. Beautiful. Once more with feeling. Turn.
Later on, we'll see how Miss World developed into something a lot glossier. But straight away, the people who ran television realized that a beauty pageant didn't have to be global, with all the expenses of flying in the contestants and putting them up in real hotels with carpets. The girls, as they were unblushingly called, could all be local. All you had to do was put them in a low-budget, semi-glamorous setting and pray that it wouldn't rain.
We're going to see all 26 girls right now enjoying themselves in various locations around this vast, great pleasure beach here in Blackpool.
Number 8, coming around the corner of the gun turret, is Cheryl Lockett. Auburn hair, green eyes, and do mind that gun barrel, Cheryl.
In a sunny glade in Sherwood Forest, you'll find Jacqueline Triggs, who is Miss Barnett.
Early on, the beauty pageant prize money was scarcely life-transforming, but it went up as the years rolled by, and sometimes more was being offered than just cash. Winning would be a magic ticket to a more luxurious life.
She'll get a cheque for £250 and she'll have a complete wardrobe of pure new wool clothes.
So, the winner gets the title. She also gets a cheque for £300, an all-wool wardrobe.
The prizes are fantastic. The winning girl will, in fact, get a cheque for £500. She'll have a luxury holiday in Greece. She'll have £200 worth of all-wool fashion.
She stands to win a cheque for £500, a sovereign holiday by BEA for 2, and £100 worth of goods from the International Wool Secretariat.
She'll have the use of a car and a fur coat.
Use of a car didn't sound quite so dazzling as actually being given a car, but use of a fur coat could have come in handy during the highlight of every British beauty pageant, the swimsuit section, in which the girls were not only dressed in defiance of the prevailing climate, for reasons that baffled science, they usually wore high heels as well.
Jane is 18, 5'6" tall, and is a bank secretary. And at 36, 24, 36, no complaints from the auditors about her figures.
Miss Southampton is Julianne Core, and Core was what the cameraman were her to say when she walked just then. Miss Garron stands 5'7" tall. Fortunately, the sides of the swimsuit have fallen off.
34, 22, 34.
34, 24, 36, 37, 25, 37. She measures the same, exactly upside down.
Although some of the girls entered every contest on the calendar, None of them were really professional performers, so they had nerves to cope with. But it wasn't easy on the male presenter either. In big-budget Miss World, if Miss Uruguay took the wrong turning and stepped into the bass drum, they could afford a crane to get her out. But when Miss TV Times had a technical problem, David Hamilton had to sort it out right there on the air. The result was an epic.
Congratulations. Oh, lovely. And who better to crown this year's winner than the retiring queen, Miss TV Times from last year, Linda Ann Thomas. So I should have come around the other side of you. I'm not very good at sashing. They don't call me Sasha Hamilton for nothing, you know. So I take the flowers. In the meantime, folks, I don't think we're ever going to get that right. I wanted to know who started all this anyway. Well done.
And the hero and heroine of the great Miss TV Times sash struggle are here tonight, David Hamilton and Zoe Spink. David, were those sashes really that difficult to get on?
I think after that, actually, Clive, they sent me off on a sashing course. I later on learnt that the technique is that it has to be under the left arm and over the right shoulder.
Oh,
Once
right.
you'd mastered that, you were OK.
Well, Zoe, you were the sash winner. I suppose you got the hang of it eventually, huh?
Well, I did try to help him. Usually the tiara causes the problem, not the sash.
You were the presenter of Miss TV Times for several years. Did you look forward to presenting it?
Well, with some trepidation, because one of the things that I remember was that the girls were all very tall. And not only were they very tall, but they had very high heels, usually white stilettos. So they were, I would say, on average, about half a foot taller than me. So I spent my entire time talking to their boobs. And I actually got paid for it as well, so it was...
And what did their boobs say to you, David? Thank you very much, David Hamilton and Zoe Spink. It was realised early on that the beauty pageant would look less like a meat market if the girls could be shown to have brains as well as beauty. Once again, the male presenters carried the can, self-sacrificingly plying the contestants with questions so stunningly banal that any answer at all counted as a sign of genius.
Now tell me, supposing a spaceship landed and a little green-headed fella popped out and asked what you like best about Europe, what would you say?
Well, first of all, I'd like to meet the little green fellow.
You would you?
You've got a hobby of making dolls. What sort of dolls do you make?
Rag dolls and toy dolls. It's, I do it more or less for charity because I make the dolls and give them to charity.
What about your other hobby?
I like painting, where I paint anything. I do a little bit of cheating because I do painting by numbers.
Do you?
Carol, you like sabre fighting? Well, that's,
Yes, I do, actually.
that's
yes.
rather dangerous, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I used to do it when I left drama school, and
Yes.
then after that, I, decided not to do it anymore.
So you've
Because
got
I was more or less murdering everybody.
Were you really?
Yes.
My goodness me, that is a bit violent, isn't
Yes,
it?
I know.
And with us tonight, but presumably without her sabre, Carol Craig, now Carol James. Do you still keep that sabre sharp?
No, I don't. I never did it in my life, actually.
What?
No, it was all a load of lies.
So whose idea was it? Did they
I
tell
just
you?
made it up as I went along.
Thank you very much, Carol James. But feminism was on the way. Nobody in the shows, not even the contestants, realised at the time that it would eventually drive the whole thing off mainstream television and into the satellite backwaters. But the hippo male presenters could occasionally be heard acknowledging that somewhere out there on the ragged edge of extreme opinion, objections had been raised.
Janet, hello.
Hello.
It's lovely to stand here with all the criticisms we hear of these kind of programs to say to a girl, Janet obtained 8 O-levels at school.
Now, a lot of people say these sort of competitions are degrading, that ladies shouldn't parade themselves like this in public. What do you say?
No, I don't. I think they're very good fun and they're good experience for
Smash.
girls.
Jill, I see you don't consider yourself a woman's liberal. Why not?
There's one answer to that. I just love being a girl.
Well, Jill, we love you being a girl, too.
Had the worm of doubt already started to gnaw at the woodwork? It didn't look that way, but just occasionally we were given a hint of what the girls might do to a male presenter if he were in their power instead of they in his. As we glide smoothly towards part 2 of this programme, it's almost as if Pete Murray can sense his fate.
There's been quite a coincidence here. All the girls were given a questionnaire, every single one of them, and the question was, in the questionnaire, what is the thing you most like to do in all the world? And
Miss World was getting bigger still. Every year, the budget topped last year's to provide a spectacle that combined a Hollywood musical minus the talent with military maneuvers minus the guns.
From north, south, east, and west, they've come in search of the most coveted crown in the world of beauty.
A lot of people, of course, like to complain a little bit about this program. They sort of knock the program a bit, criticize it a little bit. I don't know really what's wrong with them. What more could you ask for? Standing here or sitting at home watching beautiful girls parading. If you'd rather talk about the energy strike or the fact they haven't got any coal in the grate, well, that's up to you.
Savannah Suarez, 19 years old. Not only beautiful, but quite clever, too.
She hopes to see the changing of the guards. I'm sure the guards would like to see her change too. Number 22, Miss Cross. 5 feet 11 inches tall. She's going to be a big girl when she grows up, this one. 37, 25, 37.
We're looking now at 5 feet 7 inches. And it starts with 35, going down nicely to 24, and rounding off with 35. Joelle Apollon, who's 20 and a student. Joelle, you speak beautiful English, don't you?
No, a little bit.
Only a little bit? Let's have a little bit of English. How do you like being here in London?
What?
What's your, since I'm looking at you so beautiful, what's your favorite food?
All kind of meat.
Do you like London?
Very much. Very much.
Very much.
Yes?
Have you seen a lot of London while you've been here?
What?